Hi folks, welcome back to the Hoard. Got a beautiful day going on here. Sunny, 55 or so. Can't get better than that. Let's talk about, well, let me demonstrate on this one. But it's true for any of these. Like, this is a Honda 200S. And sometimes if you guys are running them around, especially if you bought one that somebody's been in the motor and you're shifting them, and you're noticing the gears are banging, you know what I mean? Believe it or not, when you move this lever for the 200S and the 200SX over there, when you move this lever, you actually disengage a shifting clutch, whether you're pushing it down or up. But notice how this thing is kind of fighting me a little bit. Even down, it's in neutral now, but even as I'm pushing it down, it's kind of fighting me a little bit. Well, that's because you're actually actuating a clutch. You're actually pushing up against the clutch to disengage it, so when you shift the transmission, you don't bang on the gears as much. I drove this thing up here, so it's already had its first start. There'll be a video with a cold start in it later, but anyway, I drove this thing up here and I noticed as I shifted it that it seriously, right, we're talking, it's not pushing up against the clutch to disengage it. So for a lot of folks, you say, well, you know, to adjust the clutch, and, you know, they get nervous, I don't want to break anything, you know, bad things are going to happen, you know, the oil plug's going to pop out and the boogeyman's going to bite me on the neck, stuff like that. Well, forget that. It is so easy to adjust the clutches on these things. I mean, you'll be saying to yourself, oh God, why didn't I do that? You know, that's probably how I blew up my transmission, by not adjusting the clutch. Anyway, so I already told you, this one seemed to be a gear banger, and you could see once again, this clutch, it's like not pushing up against anything, the shifting clutch. So how do you adjust it? This is the clutch side of the motor. You can see the oil fill there, makes it a little easier to find, and you don't see a shift lever. Now what you do is you loosen this up, right? And I already did that. And as you loosen up, right, and by the way, take a look from tight to how far it takes me to get to the point of pushing up against, right? So it was like a couple of turns. So this basically was not using the shifting clutch at all, because, you know, with no resistance on the lever, and also you could see how far I had to adjust it till I finally brought the thing up against the clutch. Now when you move the lever, there's kind of a couple of incline ball bearing things and a holder that kind of push up against the clutch as you move the lever to disengage it, whether you're pushing this way or that way, right? As the ball bearings roll up the incline, they push on it, which disengages the clutch. But once again, you see how far I had to turn it just to get it up against there. And now you could see, right, that is actually slightly too tight. The way you do it is you spin it until you get to resistance, then you hold, see that screwdriver thing there, right? You turn that a quarter turn back and hold it and tighten the nut back in so it locks. It is that easy to adjust the clutch. Once again, loosen it all the way until you come up against resistance, turn it back a quarter turn, hold it, hold the slotted screwdriver part, and tighten the nut so that it locks. That easy to adjust the clutch. And that is true for this 4 tracks and the Honda 185 And 200, it's also true on these guys. And I mentioned on this one that the when I shifted it into gear, that the tranny felt a little flaky. So once again, this one very loose, needs to be adjusted also. My suggestion is adjust it, take it out for a ride, and see what it feels like. If you tighten it too much, as you touch the pedal at all, it'll slip. Some people like them a little tighter than others. Some people like them looser. So, alright folks, I want to thank you all for watching and commenting and subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down, keep your heads up, and get out there and enjoy all your days. Bye now.